Hi, this is Sarah Curry for task 1D. My brand name is Catherine's Key Tea. As you can see here, my logo is Catherine's Key Tea. I have Catherine's at the top in cursive writing because I wanted to add a more high-end look to my logo. And then I have Key Tea, which is the main point of my brand because it's keto tea. And then I have a teapot just to reinforce that T and then the Union Jack symbol in there. And then my slogan at the bottom, which is Tea, Health, Simple. And I have the whole thing looking like a family seal in that type of outline. The ingredients for my tea is a base of Earl Grey, so you need water to brew the tea, coconut oil, which you need to add the fat for the keto aspect of it, coconut milk, because my flavor is going to be London Fog, and so it's a latte, vanilla extract, monk fruit, which is a natural sweetener approved by the keto diet, and lavender, just to add a little something extra. My competitor is Bulletproof Coffee. Bulletproof Coffee is a keto diet approved coffee, and it's very, very similar, but it can also be made in your home. When I started looking for this, I realized there's no keto diet friendly tea on the market, only coffee. Now, a lot of people do make keto diet tea in their home, but there's none that's pre-made or packaged. So if you were on the go, running out to the office, or you're traveling, and you were a tea drinker instead of a coffee drinker, you wouldn't have anything, or you'd have to make it in your own hotel room or in your own home. So my drink is pre-made to mimic the Bulletproof Coffee convenience factor, but then also appealing to those that are on the keto diet. So talking about my strategies a bit, my brand name specifically, I wanted to incorporate the keto diet somehow. And so that's how I came up with Key Tea, because it's an invented word using keto, key, and tea because it's a tea drink. I also had to differentiate it because I found that Key Tea was used quite a bit and there was a trademark of Key Tea. And so I did a little historical research and found out that the Queen Consort of England in the 1600s was Catherine, and she is responsible for bringing tea to the British nobility and then ultimately England as a country. And so I'm using Catherine because it helps with this foreign appeal because it really was a real person from England. Catherine is also Prince William's wife, and she will soon be Queen Consort after Prince Charles. So there is that longevity aspect to it with the British royal family. And then also, it just helped me differentiate myself just from random key teas out there. It gave it a more high-end appeal because it had a name to it. My slogan, I wanted to keep it short and simple. I wanted it to restate that my drink is a tea because I saw how some people could mispronounce it and say kate instead of tea. I wanted to use the 3 words technique because I found that to be very effective. And I wanted to reinforce that this is a diet drink without saying the word diet. I feel like a lot of people, when they see diet, they think something is left out, so it's not as good as the other one. So I chose health instead, because even if you're not dieting, you might choose to drink this for a health reason. And then I also chose simple because I worked really hard to try to make sure all my ingredients were natural, they could easily be pronounced, and people wouldn't be scared of them. The only unique one is really monk fruit, and because it's easy to pronounce and you can spell it quite easily, people aren't as afraid of it, where other sweeteners sound like chemicals. So again, my logo, I went for that British feel, so the Union Jack colors and design, along with that seal similar to a family crest. I wanted to make sure my logo would work in black and white as well as color, which is why I have the primarily black banner at the top. And then I wanted to use a teapot because I'm competing with coffee. A lot of times you see coffee beans or something to make you think of coffee. And so here it was very, very easy to go with a teapot. And then I used a different type of font for Catherine's and Key Tea because I wanted Catherine's again to give it that more aristocratic, that high-end feel, and then Key Tea to be really bold and out there. And so that way when you looked at it first, that's what your eyes were drawn to, and so that's what you were trying to buy. One of the ways that I tested this was I closed my eyes, and then when I opened them, I looked to see what my eyes were drawn to first, and my eyes were drawn to the teapot and key tea, which is what I was going for. So my packaging on this, I've decided to use a glass bottle. It conveys a very clean look, and usually glass is used with luxury food items. If you go to the grocery store and you look at McCormick seasoning, they're usually in glass bottles because it's just a little bit higher end than the grocery store brand, which is typically in plastic. It'll also help the tea taste better. We know that for items that have a long shelf life, sometimes the plastic or metal can seep into the flavor, and if we use glass, it'll help with that. The shape, I want to mimic the loose leaf tea portable bottles that are now being sold on the market. They're very, very popular. I got one for Christmas and I love it. So it's got a wide mouth at the top, and it's in a tubular shape, and it has a screw top. And I put an example there on the slide so you can see what it would look like. I've decided to go with 14 ounces because when you go to Starbucks, you can get a tall or a grande, and a tall is 12 ounces, but a grande is 16 ounces. The Bullet coffee is 11 ounces, and so I felt like going right in the middle between the tall and the grande is a really good drink size. It also gives you more than the Bullet coffee, so I might be able to pull over some of those coffee drinkers. And then I thought, because I'm having this British feel, I might want to sell this in Britain or internationally. And everywhere except America uses milliliters. And so I wanted to pick an ounce that equated to an even milliliter, so I didn't have a weird number, and it does. 14 ounces is 415 milliliters. And then also on my glass bottle, I'm not going to use the traditional glass that you see if you were to just go buy a soft drink or beer, because that is a lower quality glass. I want to go with a higher glass quality, which is similar to Pyrex. So it can be heated, it's more durable for shipping, and then it's also reusable. I know a lot of people like to keep their wine bottles, and I want to try to fit into that and say you can reuse this glass. And so it appeals to those people that are into sustainability, but also people that are frugally natured that might want to reuse this glass for other drinks. And that is my presentation. Thank you for listening.